Soft balmy beaches, contagious rhythms, Cadillacs and Caribbean charm. I'm talking Cuba, but not even the most legendary rum or earthiest cigar can get rid of the bad taste in Cuba's mouth. The bad taste? A declining economy, poor living conditions and wages, lack of food, medicine, and freedom. Over the past decade, we have witnessed a sharp rise in Cubans entering the United States, including many illegal attempts. Circumstances have only worsened during COVID times. Recently, the people of Cuba have spoken. Mass protests across the nation, crying out for freedom and change. No, it's not about COVID vaccines. These are serious protests, the largest in decades. In this video, we explore Cuba's checkered past, why and how this could be the beginning of the second Cuban Revolution. History never repeats itself, but it does often rhyme, and boy is Cuba rhyming right now. Let me take you back to 1940. Fulgencio Batista was elected president of Cuba. He governed Cuba efficiently, improving education, economy, and public services. His term ended in 1944. Corruption followed Cuba on a grand scale, including lawlessness and the breakdown of public services. By 1952, Batista was back for a second crack at the elections. However, facing imminent defeat in the election, he led a military coup against the president to seize leadership of Cuba. Backed by the US government, the coup was welcomed by many Cubans at the time as well. But the welcoming was short-lived. Batista returned as a brutal dictator, holding a strong grip on the people with military might, controlling education, Congress, and embezzling huge sums from the rising economy. A tyrannical reign had begun, and Batista refused to hold elections, the country spiraling into despair under his oppressive leadership. Rampant corruption, greed, and brutality gave the people every reason to search for an alternative. Bring on Fidel Castro, declaring revolution on July 26, 1953. After several revolutionary attempts, in June 1959, the rebels stormed Havana, laying waste to Batista's governance. Castro declaring himself president of Cuba, later declaring Cuba a communist nation. Putting aside our personal opinion of Castro, we can agree that he galvanized many people to chase change. Ironically, Castro made a number of speeches about social justice and freedom, yet he was an authoritarian dictator, oppressive of freedom. If you are enjoying this video so far, hit that like and subscribe button for more content. Back to 2021, we are seeing the rhymes of history. Oppressed, desperate people searching for change today. Cuba don't need a Fidel Castro figure to unite change. Change has already been sparked. It drives society like you wouldn't believe. The weapon of information. The internet has only recently been a normality for Cubans. For Cuba, the internet is a window to the outside world. Their eyes have been opened to true freedom, democratic elections, free speech, to share your own beliefs and ideas, the opportunity for change. Remember, Cuba is a one-party system. Therefore, Cubans legally don't have a right to protest or share alternative political views. Many have been imprisoned for peacefully protesting. At the tip of the iceberg, poor living conditions and wages, poverty and starvation. The internet has given Cuba a taste of greener pastures. Adding fuel to the fire, videos have surfaced of the Cuban upper-class government living it up in riches and paradise as the working people suffer. If things continue to escalate in Cuba, we could see a revolution this decade. Now, I do have to talk about the elephant in the room. Yes, the United States. They have had a large impact on Cuba over the past 100 years and still do today with the embargo and sanctions on much of the Cuban government. However, there is still an opportunity for the United States and the world to take action to help Cuba. This can be done by supporting Cuban protests around the world and encouraging change, putting pressure on governments to take action. Leaders of nations are forced to listen when people shout through numbers. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video and helped you understand more about Cuba's history and the protests. I'll see you next time on the History Nexus.